So let's talk about something that hits close to home for a lot of us: burnout. Today, we're diving into a blueprint that's designed to tackle this modern-day epidemic head-on. And this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a system born from a real personal crisis, built for high performers who feel like they're just running on fumes. Let's see how it works.
You know, it really all starts with this one simple but incredibly powerful question. Do you ever feel like you're not really steering your own ship? Like you're just a passenger, getting thrown around by your inbox, by a sudden shift in the market, by team drama, just constantly reacting to your day instead of directing it? That feeling, that's the core of what we're talking about.
And believe me, this is not a niche problem. The hunger for a real solution is absolutely massive. Just look at these numbers. The wellness tourism industry, it's on a path to an incredible $1.68 trillion, a trillion with a T. And check out that bar on the right. 57% of high earners are specifically making mental wellness retreats a priority. The market is huge, and it's screaming for something that actually works.
Okay, so let's put a name to this thing. We're calling it the always-on epidemic. It's this culture of nonstop, relentless ambition. You know the one. It pushes us to achieve amazing things on the outside, but leaves us feeling completely overwhelmed, disconnected, and just plain exhausted on the inside. It's just not sustainable. And you see this pop up in some really specific, high-pressure circles. We're talking about founders and executives who are drowning in pressure, people in the recovery community who need practical, real-world tools to navigate their daily triggers, creatives and athletes battling intense performance anxiety. Heck, even couples who just feel like they're stuck, repeating the same old negative patterns. The common thread here, it's that feeling of being out of control.
So where did the answer come from? Well, it wasn't cooked up in some think tank or a corporate boardroom. No, this solution was forged in the fire of a really profound personal journey. And this is where the story gets incredibly powerful.
Meet Mark Tulloch. His journey has been one of just unbelievable highs and crushing lows. Back in 2004, he gets a bipolar diagnosis, and in a terrible turn of events, it's actually used against him by his employer, pretty much ending his career. But get this, by 2013, that same drive and operational genius had shot him right to the top of his industry. He generated £1.2 million in net profit in a single year. But that kind of success, that always-on mentality, it came at a huge cost. It led to a complete breaking point, and then a conscious, deliberate rebuilding of his entire life in Bali.
And this right here, this quote is the light bulb moment. The huge breakthrough wasn't about trying to fight or fix the diagnosis. It was about reframing it completely. He started to see it not as a personal flaw, but as a kind of high-intensity operating system. Think about it, right? A system with these massive bursts of energy and creativity, but also with these really deep lows. It didn't need to be suppressed. It just needed a new set of rules to run safely. Things like radical awareness, solid structure, and deep personal responsibility. That mindset shift, that's the bedrock of conscious systems.
You can really feel the influence of thinkers like Viktor Frankl here, the psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. It's all about shifting out of that victim mentality. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? The question that changes everything is, what is this asking of me? That pivot from victim to owner, from powerless to responsible, that's everything.
Okay, so you've got the philosophy, but how does it actually work? How do you put it into practice? Well, it all boils down to one fundamental shift: moving from a life of constant knee-jerk reaction to one of conscious, intentional response.
And the difference is just night and day. On one side, you have reaction. That's feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, like you're just that passenger getting tossed around in a storm. And on the other side, you've got response. That's where you find clarity, you feel a sense of agency over your own life, you have real presence. You're calmly steering your own ship. The whole point of this system is to give you the tools to get from the left side to the right side.
And here's the how, the actual tool you can use. It's a 5-step pathway called Awaken, Align, Evolve. And it's designed to be a series of short, punchy rituals you can actually fit into a crazy busy life. Step 1 is awareness, just pausing to ask, what am I really thinking and feeling right now? No judgment. Then comes intention. Okay, what outcome do I actually want here? From there, you pick one small, simple action that moves you in that direction. After you act, you reflect. What did I learn from that? And finally, you integrate that lesson into a state of presence, so you carry that new wisdom with you. It's this simple, continuous loop that literally retrains your brain to respond with intention instead of reacting on autopilot.
All right, theory is one thing. That all sounds great, but does this stuff actually hold up in the real world? This is where we go from the personal story to the hard proof of business traction.
First off, this isn't just some concept. It's a business that's already up and running, already generating revenue, and there's a really clear product ladder. It starts with a simple entry-level session to see if it's a good fit, then moves to a core intensive program, and goes all the way up to premium advisory for executives. You can see there's a clear, thought-out path for how customers get involved and how the business grows.
And if you want proof that it works under pressure, look no further. This exact framework was the tool used to pull off a complete operational and financial turnaround of the Sunshooters venue in Bali. So this isn't a hypothetical classroom exercise. It's a live case study that shows this system gets real results in a high-stress business environment.
And they're not just thinking big picture. They're focused on the here and now. There's a tangible financial goal on the books, a 90-day target to bring in about 14,000 Australian dollars just from the existing coaching services. It just shows a clear focus on commercial viability and what's happening right now.
Okay, so we've got a system that works, a personal story that's incredibly authentic, and a business that's already running. So where does it go from here? This is about taking that vision and building a physical home for it.
The big vision is this: a world-class realignment retreat center. Now here's the absolute killer detail. This isn't just a dream on a napkin. The plan is to build this on 1,000 square meters of freehold land in Lombok, Indonesia that is already owned by the founder. That is huge. It massively de-risks the entire project right from the very beginning.
So the ask is for 1.5 million Australian dollars. And this chart lays out exactly where every single dollar is going to go. No mystery here. The biggest slice, as you'd expect, is for construction. The rest is carefully planned out for a 12-month operational runway to get things off the ground, program development and staffing, and a global marketing launch. It's a super transparent, well-thought-out plan.
So let's just recap what makes this a really solid opportunity. You're ticking all the right boxes. You've got the secured land, a prime asset. You have a proven method that's already making money. You have a founder with a documented history of operational excellence. And maybe the most important thing of all, you have that authentic founder market fit. The story is real, which gives it a level of credibility you just can't fake.
And of course, at the end of the day, the numbers have to make sense. The projection here is for a very solid 3.1 times return, and that's based on a conservative 5-year model. We're talking about a potential return of about $4.7 million on that $1.5 million investment, and there's even a clear path to push that to a 5x return. So the big takeaway is that this is a mission-driven project with a really strong financial engine behind it. So I want to leave you with this one big idea. The entire story we've just walked through is built on this principle of turning a massive struggle into a powerful solution. And it really makes you wonder, right? It leaves us with a question to think about in our own lives. What if our greatest struggles, the things we think are our defects, what if they aren't meant to be hidden? What if they are actually the blueprints for our greatest contributions?